Oh, more newcomers. All right, we are live, and then today we're talking about a huge couple changes in high level. Um, Basically, GPT-5 is now in high level. It's in workflow, and they've made it where it's actually cheaper than the rate if you go directly to OpenAI. So that is a massive change because up until now, they were marking it up tremendously. Like I had built all these like AI email copywriter flows and all of these like memory unification flows for the conversation AI and the voice AI. But once I put it, it was really confusing the pricing structure when they first rolled out AI employee. I'm going to go through that just so everybody gets a little clarity if you didn't see last time. But I had to just not use any of those flows. And now it's actually cheaper and more powerful than ever. It's cheaper than the OpenAI rate, and so you don't need to do. And so all these things I had built are now perfect for the community. So those are all things you get access to from getting affiliated. I'm going to run through quick AI employee pricing, and then we're going to talk about what it really means that the workflow action for GPT-5 is now cheaper than going directly to OpenAI, and how you can use that to sell AI agents with better profit margins than any other platform you could use to build them in. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys the AI employee settings screen. Make sure I get the right tab. And AI employees, where you go to check it out. And this just makes it a really easy place for me to overview what it includes for you guys and what it doesn't include. So right here in manager offer, this also happens to be where you can enter my code. But the main thing that you want to learn from here is what comes with AI employee. So you've got AI voice, you've got conversational AI. Now that is your chat-based response system. That's going to cover SMS, email, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, web chat. AI reviews, that's responding to reviews on most platforms. Funnel and website AI builder, content AI, that's where you generate like blog posts, photos for like your social planner. And then workflow AI assistant, that's the chat bot on the side of your workflow builder that you can ask to tell you like what's wrong with this workflow. What the heck does this workflow do? How can I make this change efficiently? So that is the best place to get AI advice about HighLevel because this thing is tapped into like all of HighLevel's own support libraries. That's gonna be really good. The way this works is you can rebill and upcharge your clients for these services if you are on the pro mode, the 497 plan, and you can also have them be able to switch to unlimited for a markup. So I do 2x here to encourage them to upgrade. Most AI voice platforms are going to be pretty expensive if you have a lot of call volume coming into the business. HighLevel really shines in that they are kind of screwing it up for other AI voice platforms because their price is so cheap. You get unlimited AI voice for this plan here. Now I have a hunch because when I logged into my AI voice section just a few minutes ago, it asked me to join the town hall meeting tomorrow where they're announcing some updates to AI voice. I have to say, I think it's going to be outbound. I don't know how that's going to be handled, but if they give you unlimited outbound and inbound for $100, it's open season. The amount of reactivation revenue people are going to be able to drive is going to be crazy. So that's how that works. There are a couple of types of AI that are not included in this unlimited AI employee. Uh, and it actually happens to be the one that we're focused on today. So inside workflow, I'm going to go in here and show you guys. I'm so glad HighLevel is running really, really fast right now. I shouldn't have said that on the loading screen. All right. So in automations, I'm just going to find one of the many blank ones I have. So you've got this action for GPT powered by OpenAI. Now, in general, any of these that have the crown or a premium action, which costs 1 cent. However, there's something called Workflow Pro, which you can turn on for a sub account. I think it gives you like 10,000 executions for $15 flat per month. Now, once you go past the 10,000 executions, you can't get more at a discount rate for the rest of the month. But this one is the only one that doesn't follow the pricing of, I mean, I kind of think it might be all of these. Yeah, they're all workflow AI. All the workflow AI are not the same as these other crowns. So these are gonna be the flat 1 cent. You can get unlimited or get 10,000 for $15. These are priced based on the models. It used to be that it was like 2 cents per execution for GPT-4, which is crazy expensive. I mean, probably like 100 times more than it really costs. And so that's why I didn't use any of my AI flows, not the AI email copywriter, not the memory unification, and not there's one other I mentioned earlier in the call that I'm drawing a blank on. But these features you can use to have AI think in workflow. Now, the reason these can't be unlimited with AI employee, imagine if I drop 10,000 leads through here. It could be an insane amount of tokens we get used. And so it has to be charged, differently. Well, until now, they were charging a massive markup. Last week, they reduced it to the same as OpenAI. And then the day they released GPT-5 in workflow, they made it where it's now cheaper than going directly to OpenAI. So because of all these weird charges and how it was too expensive, people that were building AI agents, they were doing it in Make, n8n, and Zapier. 2 years ago, when I first started dealing with AI voice and taught myself how to code, that's when I built my Zapier and Make application for HighLevel's 2.0 API. Now we still have those, still useful in some cases, but we're working on one for n8n because n8n is really the best place to shave all the costs down. You can locally host uh, your instance, and you end up paying like a flat $10. And to give you guys some perspective, I was spending $3,000 a month on Zapier before. It was a lot. And so the fact that you can shave that down was amazing. But but Zapier and Make, they charge you for every single action in there. It's like a very small charge, but that adds up. In HighLevel workflow, most of these things are totally free. So you can do a lot, but just because of how much they charge for workflow GPT, it still forced us into other platforms. Well, now you can stay all in HighLevel. You don't need n8n. There are workarounds for skipping and not having to use a lot of these a lot of these other premium actions as well. As you'll see, like there are a lot of things with crowns, like copy contact, black, and there are workarounds for getting that done without having to pay the cent. But let's stick on talking about the GPT action. I want to explain a few of these, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And if we have time, I'll show like an example of an AI email copywriter flow. So like where it'll personalize an email for every contact. As you can imagine, if you're sending 10,000 emails, you don't want to pay 2 cents for each of them. It would be $200 to execute the workflow. But now it's actually reasonable, very reasonable. So GPT workflow action, this is the standard one, right? This is just gonna do whatever you tell it, but you can switch between the different models, and they're all now charged at cost. It used to be like 2 cents for four, a cent for many, but now it's just flat across the board, and you can use the latest model, which is really, really powerful to have that at cost or less than cost. So this, you put in a prompt, and then it outputs the response to the prompt as a field that you can access. So like you can go here and access the output from it.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah,
quick question.
dude.
Is this something that would work within, let's say somebody fills out a survey. Based on the answers to the survey, can we have AI respond to them in a custom manner based on
Yeah,
the inputs?
yeah, exactly. You can transform the data with AI, and then you can do whatever you can imagine with that data, whether it's sending it back to the client or sending it to another system to cause some other action. So,
So you can nurture that patient with a custom response based on the information that they put in to
mhm,
request an appointment. Like, hey, it seems like you're a great candidate based on
right,
what you entered in. Our next step is this, and that can be different based on the information. That's
right.
awesome. Okay, sorry.
And now they have a translation feature. So, for instance, like all my IT team, you guys submit a ticket in their IT form, and it can translate it into Bangladesh right there before it hits them. We've got workflow AI summarize. Those aren't really that cool, to be honest. It's pretty like you could probably just do that just fine with regular GPT. But there is one I'm not seeing. Let me see. There's AI decision maker. This is really cool. So you can have a set of branches now, and the lead comes in, and you can have the AI make a decision about which branches should go down. So that's a useful feature in creating a workflow that would like handle. Maybe I have a client who sends a message. The decision maker can decide if they're asking us to complete a task or not. if they provided everything that we needed to complete the task, and it can choose like which branch to execute. Like one branch could create a task for my team. The next branch could ask for more information for creating that task, if that makes any sense. So really, really cool. And basically now, instead of having to go in Zapier and then or make or n8n and create your flows for your AI that you can then resell, now you can do it all in HighLevel, where it's strapped into the SaaS features and everything else that makes HighLevel so awesome. And all the 42 tools that HighLevel lets you work with, they don't charge you to use them. You can do this all now in-house and create SaaS solutions better than ever. I'm going to give you guys just a verbal explanation of like how an AI email copywriter could work. I have a guy who wants to do um, logistics in his local area in Mississippi. So we're pulling the list of everybody that lives in Mississippi that fits his criteria. We're going to have a bunch of columns on that data export. We might have their job title. We might know their industry. We're going to know their location, what city they're in. AI is going to be able to know the landmarks in that city. It's going to be able to know how to explain why their type of company probably needs logistics, right? So it's going to look at the industry type and say, hey, I see that you actually live right by this landmark. I'm in Mississippi too. And I was thinking, because you have this other business, I'm assuming you must use logistics, but it's going to put that into very clear terms that sound like a very personal email. Be a little one-liner with a booking link. You can have like something hyper personal in the subject line. And now that you can generate that at scale cheaply, you're gonna boost your click rates up really, really well. There are all these AI email platforms, guys, and they upcharge for AI tokens a lot. They're not doing anything special. They're doing these same kinds of things we're talking about, but they're going to be upcharging a lot, and they don't have all the other features in HighLevel built in. Now that we can get these kind of things done at cheaper than cost with OpenAI, we can crush the pricing on all these other platforms. I have a whole video and snapshot for what I call my instantly replacement setup. And HighLevel's email system has gotten even better since I made that video. And this change really just makes it where, HighLevel is going to start. It's going to be hard for a client to decide to go with one of these other systems that marks up so much for email and AI tokens. Because HighLevel's got emails at 60 cents for 1,000. No, 60 cents for 1,000. And it's got AI cheaper than HighLevel. So it's an incredible opportunity. So guys, I'm going to open it up for questions. I'm sure that a lot of you guys are confused hearing some of this stuff the first time. So let me know what questions you have, and we can talk about other ways you can use these features or clear up anything that you guys had questions on when it comes to AI employee pricing. If nobody has anything, I'll also cover like the bonuses that come with affiliation, so you guys know what we include too. Now, see if there's anybody new. Christian Barton. I don't think I got to speak with you yet, did I? I don't know if you're still there or not. You're muted in case you're not sure. Does everybody get he said 2 minutes. All right. Does anybody understand like the basics of the pricing structure for OpenAI in HighLevel?
Did you say it's 1 cent per action?
Mm-mm. So premium actions in HighLevel are 1 cent, except for the workflow AI actions. The workflow AI actions are billed exactly at 5% less than OpenAI's direct pricing. So it's probably like, it would depend on how big your prompt is, right? How many tokens are being used, and only on that. You're not going to get hit with 1 cent or 2 cents anymore. So now it's like actually what it costs, or better than what it would cost if you went to OpenAI.
So I still don't understand. Is that like a fraction of a cent, or is it less than a cent? What is the answer? What is it called?
Here, it depends on which model you're using. So there's like 5 or 6 models that would all have different costs.
Okay.
But the way that you can actually determine that, OpenAI has calculators where you can paste in a prompt, and there's 2 types of tokens. You got input tokens and output tokens. And let's just look at it. For OpenAI token pricing, I'm going to share my screen again. This is definitely something that you need to wrap your head around as you get into creating this type of stuff. So here are all the different models. You see like input tokens, output tokens, and cached input is now, I've never even seen that before, but it makes sense because OpenAI just rolled out the feature where it can remember more about what's going on than just what's in your prompts. So it has a longer memory. And they've really changed this around a good bit in the past year to 2 years, like Flex. To be honest, I've never seen that before. I'm gonna stick to the standard because that's what I was used to. But you see all these models have very different costs, like O3 Pro, which is the one that's $200 to use. We're getting really expensive. O1 Pro, 600 for input tokens. So
So what does that mean when it says per input token? What is that?
this is per 1 million tokens. So 1 million tokens, like a word can contain anywhere from one to multiple tokens, depending on how many. It's like a unit of thought. Sometimes one word contains several like thoughts. That's actually how it works. You can use a token calculator to paste your text and see exactly how many tokens that would contain. And I'll show you where you do that. But we'll do one real quick and I'll show you guys. So I'm going to take this right here. We're going to test it just for that. Yeah. So 86 tokens here. So a million tokens is going to be a pretty considerable amount of text.
And that's based on that paragraph and sentence, basically. That's 86
Yeah.
tokens.
This is the 86 tokens, 435 characters. And then over in the pricing, guys, this is for a million tokens, right? So this is a massive amount of data that you're processing. And most
What?
cases, you'll just want to head over to this calculator here. If you have a prompt that you're wanting to text, you put it in here, see how many tokens it is before you execute like 10,000 contacts through that workflow.
And that's per output. So per text, it would be 86 tokens per text.
This is for input. You're also going to want to make sure that your output is controlled. So if you have your input and your output is only one sentence, it's going to be cheaper than if it's one paragraph and your output is a whole, chapter of a book,
Oh, so
right?
basically summarizing what your input is to making it shorter for your output.
The shorter you can make it, the less expensive it's going to be. So it doesn't even matter like how long it has to think. It matters how short the input and output are. You get a different price. Output's always much more expensive. So it's better
And
to
all
have
these
like a,
prices you're talking about is per 1 million tokens, correct?
yeah, you're right there. So 1 million tokens, like if I'm going to go and ask it.
And then input is basically it thinking and creating, and output is when it's executing and actually sending it out.
Yeah, I'm going to get an average here of how many pages of text 1 million tokens is. It's probably like 1,000 pages or something. I don't know. You'll see in a second here. Does that make a little more sense to everybody? Let me see. Good, Christian. Christian, tell me what you do, man. What kind of agency do you have? You still need to stay on mute for a little longer? I know you're driving, so yeah. So it's like 1,500 pages to 3,000 pages. That's quite a bit of processing that you're doing, and the fact that you could process that for $1.25 with GPT-5 is insane to me. Very, very cool. They're just getting better and better at what they do. And I'm glad that HighLevel's taking that into account and giving us access to the best model at a lower price now. Really, really powerful. But I'm also seeing like how much more complex this has gotten with, all these different types. Like priority means you need to output faster. And so apparently you can pay to have it done faster, which you would need in certain situations. All types of really interesting things that have gotten way more complicated. So it's still really, really interesting.
Are you going to show a
Guys,
use case or like an example of using this together?
I think based on the time we have left, did you understand my explanation of like how you do a personal email copywriter? when
I'm not familiar.
I was talking about the logistics company. Basically, he wanted to write emails to everybody in his local town,
Huh?
and the way you would do it, I'm going to explain it kind of from a high level perspective one more time, and then I'll show you like a briefly how I would set this up in here. Um, so, and I have like a personal email copywriting snapshot. It's a workflow that we give you guys for being affiliated. The one we built is for marketing HighLevel itself. And you know what? I'm going to give that example because I think it's going to make sense to you guys, right? So we all know HighLevel can be used for a million different things. When you export a list of contacts, like maybe I'm taking business owners in my city, I'm going to know the industry they're in, their job title. I'm going to know their location, what city they're in too. All of those things AI can actually use to create a really, really personal message. So I can ask AI, what I would do is I would say, I would have a prompt, so the GPT. Five, and I could say, take, I put contact, industry, and job title, and think of the thing they do, the task they likely could save the most time on in their day-to-day job that HighLevel, using HighLevel, and reference the landmarks in the city city closest to where they work, and mention them in the same city. So you want to have one prompt like this, and then you want to take the output from that prompt. So this is generating like the body. I probably need to be a little more clear here. So take the contact industry, contact job, fantastic links in most time in their day using HighLevel. Write a short for um, email body with an introduction line, 3 bullet points, and a call to action to start a trial of HighLevel using my affiliate link. And I would just drop my affiliate link in there. You guys get what I'm saying? And then I would say in the intro line, let them know I live in the same city and reference a landmark in the city closest to where they're located. I'd want to give like the actual street address too at all right. So I can do a test here, but let's see, we're doing on time. I think we're good to do a test. You need to make sure the contact has all those details in there. So I'm gonna use my own. And then we can actually show you guys how this would work. Um, so that ought to output like a subject, like an introduction line, 3 bullet points, and then a call to action. I'm gonna give him my affiliate link, Robert. Bam is my link. And I'm gonna enable chat histories this way. You can see all the other. Ooh, this is new. Oh, shoot. We had a call about this the other day, and apparently now the GPT memory is not limited to just its contact. It can remember all chat GPT conversations across all workflows within this sub account. So that is pretty crazy. That means that it can now kind of learn as it goes. That is so crazy. I had no idea you could do that. And that gets me very excited. But we're just going to say this step for now. Start fresh on it. Wow. That's so cool. Really, really powerful. We don't really need that for this. But you could enable it just for this contact. And that way, like every time the AI sends them an email, it knows all the other emails that you've sent them before. So it allows it to make sure it's creating fresh content. You just need to say in the prompt, make sure you don't repeat anything from previous emails. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to just update contact. Well, let me just show it with email. I think it's a custom value in here. GPT, output, response, right? So now it's going to have that. I'm actually going to add a couple more steps. We need to put a subject line in there first. Unless this dude was telling me to hold my spot. I'm going to add one more GPT action. I'm going to say, here is the body of my email. Come up with a super high converting subject line based on the content. Make sure it is highly personalized for optimal conversion and comprehension. You guys getting the idea?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. It takes a minute to knock these out, and I knew just by kind of showing you guys, I'm hoping you guys are having a ton of ideas right now. My mind's still back in the fact that now I can tell this workflow action to be aware of every GPT action that's been executed in the whole sub account. That is just crazy. We had a call maybe 3 weeks ago where somebody was saying that they were trying to train the GPT in a workflow step to be able to learn how to do it better. And I was like, that's not possible because it's only limited to right here. But apparently that's not the case anymore. Um, I don't know if you guys have been using ChatGPT and seen even with a new chat, it'll remember stuff about you. That's basically now what's able to happen inside of your HighLevel. So cool. Either way, that's done. Output, please output only the subject line. Bam. And I probably don't need, I already passed the response in here. I probably could have achieved the same thing by enabling the chat history and limiting it to this workflow, because that way it would know the body. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. Save, email. Now I'm going to go here in GPT step or in the subject line, and I'm going to insert my subject line. And so this is probably not going to look great, but with a little tweaking, you can get it pretty nice. So now the only thing we need to check is to make sure. Okay. There. Email, copywriter. Save. Now I'm going to add my details in, make sure I have all those custom fields in my contacts. All right. And it's gonna be hard for me to fill these in without getting this video banned off YouTube, guys. I think, let me just try to run it the way it is. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna run it the way it is. I think it probably has a lot of that information for me already. And I'm gonna say add to workflow, email copywriter. This is gonna be a 10-second version of something that we have a really complex flow already built around. And that's what comes in our snapshot. But this should convey the concept for you guys. 1255, and go ahead and leave that to okay. That's the right one. It looks like it didn't insert the custom fields, but this first try, yeah, my city's not in there probably. But you guys can see how that would have generally worked. It did send the email. I just need to go and work on the prompts a little bit to make sure that it does that cleanly. I can do another training on this. I've got a video too I can share with you guys. It goes a little deeper. Find it real quick.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I did a training on this before, but it was like a year ago, so I can't even remember the name of the workflow right now.
For the translator, what languages are you able to translate in?
My guess is a lot. Let me look at
'Cause I noticed
high
the voice
level.
AI can only do very limited
I
for
think they
talking.
added a bunch of languages there too. How long ago did you check that out?
I haven't. I'll try and check now. But I just looked at the voice AI.
Okay.
It looks the same, but I'd never seen the workflow one. I'm assuming that's like for text and stuff. So
Yeah.
how do you distinguish? Here, I'll just let me try to click on it and see what it does.
It's not, yeah, I think we just click on it in workflow and we can check that out. Oh, you can just tell it what language. So that seems like it could be pretty much any language. And the cool thing is this is going to be using GPT-5 now too, most likely. Guys, I'm going to run through the bonuses that come with affiliation. We have a snapshot that already has like a polished email copywriter, but the whole thing about writing these copywriters is it's all based around, I'm just going to explain this full screen. It's all based on the data that you have. So the way you do this, like I'm doing this with a guy tomorrow, he's going to use Apollo for his data source. So we're pulling the data and we're going to look at all the columns that are there. And then me and him sit together and we say, okay, what's the best way we can get really personal and effective with this message? So then we write out the plan, kind of like I just did here. I just made a really quick, rough plan with you guys, but it needs further refinement. So then I video the session with him, planning that out based on the columns in his data. And I send it to my team and say, hey, polish this up and make it work like we intended. Um, there's, yeah, obviously it would take a good bit of troubleshooting to get that finalized. Um, but that's how the process would work for you guys. The template I have built is for seamless AI data. And I ended up not continuing with them because I found the data quality not to really be where it needed to be. Too many emails bouncing, not the right people. So you want to make this, you want to do this custom for your data source. And I do have clients where I help them get through the whole process of taking a data source, make the flow, test it before we buy too much data, make sure it's good quality. It's a step I put in there after I signed for a year commitment with Seamless. But you want to test it and start on the smallest plan. Once you get a couple opens and a couple clicks, a couple bookings, then you can scale it up. That's kind of how that works. Now, the other bonuses you get with affiliation, my supercharged AI employee snapshot, that comes with the memory unification workflow that now works at a good cost due to these changes. What that does is gives the AI voice a memory of the the conversational AI conversations. So it's all tied together. It also gives the voice a memory of past voice conversations that have happened. So it's all, basically updating a summary field that's updating from the conversation AI and the voice. We've got an email copywriter. And like I said, it really needs to be customized for your data source. That one was for seamless. And then there is also an email writer, right? So normally the conversational AI can only reply to SMS, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and web chat. Well, we have a workflow-based AI response and booking system that works just off the workflow GPT, which was too expensive to use until now. So you get those workflows. That's all part of the supercharged AI employee snapshot. You get my Zapier and Make applications for HighLevel on the 2.0 API. They let's take 100 actions. Not as valuable now that we've got work GPT so cheap in workflow, but still helpful in a lot of cases. You've got 3 weekly group calls where I have open office hours. It's actually 2 now. I'm cutting Saturdays. Tuesday and Thursday, I go live or I just start the group call at 1. Current clients come on there. I help you guys with whatever you need, whether you're do it yourself or done for you. If you're do it yourself, I'll tell you where to find the info, give you advice. If you're done for you, I tell my team that you want it done. You also get I think those are really the main things. The group calls, I think, are probably the most valuable for somebody that's getting started in HighLevel. But I feel like I may be forgetting something, so I want to look real quick. Oh, yeah, my courses. So you got the snapshot, and then you have 3 different courses that I offer. I'll just go ahead and pull that up. And you get a 30-day trial of Go HighLevel, which is something that that's for newcomers. If you're wanting to upgrade or use my code for AI employee, you get discounts on those. And so in the learning section here, you can see all the courses. These are really early day ones. This is for third-party integration, so outbound voice. And this is for just maximizing what's already in HighLevel. And guys, there's so much you can do just in HighLevel. If you focus on keeping it just to that, you're going to have clients that get set up quicker. They're going to be happier, and everything works much better. So I would lean on pushing you guys to just focus on what's in HighLevel. And it is a complete course. We cover how to set up the email systems properly in HighLevel, which is something that's evolving constantly, and we make sure our stuff is up to date. And it takes about 20 minutes flat to set up AI voice and conversational AI booking just straight from the website. So it's super quick AI setup in here. This whole thing probably takes 3-4 hours front to back, and you got your whole sub account set up. We also cover agency setups. Now, if it's basic videos, I didn't want to waste time explaining something that we're going to explain a million times. I focused on making videos for the areas where we excel, but I still filled it in with all the basics from HighLevel's own courses, right, from their SaaSpreneur course. So, oh, shoot. I wouldn't share my screen. Let me share real quick. You guys got to tell me when I do that. I do all the time. Here's the course. This is the one for native AI setup, native HighLevel setup for everything in HighLevel, no third-party apps. And we cover the email in here. And what I was saying, guys, like you'll see, we've got the HighLevel spokesperson in here. The basic videos like A2P, I didn't want to redo what they've already done well enough. I wanted to do things that the community needed, which is like how you set up conversational AI and voice AI from the website quickly, how you properly set up your emails for cold email, and the kind of things where we excel. So you've got everything you need in one place, from setting up your whole agency and sub account front to back with up to my standards. And then if you do want to do outbound before it comes out in HighLevel, which I think could be tomorrow, then this is the course on third-party integration. And we also cover like Zapier chat integration, which is almost the same as ClosBot. And guys, do I have another meeting right now? Yep. My earbuds are dying, and I've got another meeting right this second, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody wants to take advantage of any of that stuff, you should have the booking links. If you can't find it, just hit search Rob Easton, go to my bio anywhere and click the link. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Rob, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, you can.
Any need for Zappy Chat anymore? I bought Zappy Chat like 2 years ago. Okay.
No, go ahead and cancel that.
Got it.
Yep. The native is way better in my opinion, and just quicker and easier to set up. So guys, I got to close this one out because I got a client I need to meet with right now. And thank you guys all so much for coming. I'll be back Thursday at 1 for current clients and affiliates, and 2 for newcomers who are wanting the free training. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks. Bye, Rob.
Bye, guys.
All right, nice to meet you.
Thank you, man. I'm really excited to meet a lot of you guys I spoke with. I hope you all grab a time. Talk soon.
All right, cool. God bless.